Hi there guys, my name's Tom Quayle. Welcome back to the Solo YouTube channel. Special welcome to anybody who is new to the channel or new to Solo. If you've not been here before, this YouTube channel is where David Beebee and myself, who designed the app Solo, upload weekly content that essentially enables you to get the most out of the app. It shows you some tips and tricks and possibly lessons as well to help you get the most out of your practice time. So if you're interested in Solo or you've already got the app and you'd like to know more about it and how to get the most out of it, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons below. And of course, the bell notification icon to ensure that you are notified every time we upload some new content. So for this particular video, I want to focus on the changes trainer within Solo and actually explain some of the more advanced levels. In this particular video, we're going to look at the melodic structures levels 1 through 5, what they are and why you might want to practice them over a given set of chord changes. Now, when you first use the changes trainer and you look at the levels, you will see a whole bunch of levels that are organized around basic chord tones. So you'll see things like roots, thirds, fifths, and sevenths. And of course, if the chord is slightly different, like a sixth chord or a sus chord, you might see some fours or some sixes, for example. But essentially, you are only working with the chord tones of the given chords within Solo. So, for example, you might be asked to play the root, third, fifth, and seventh, or just the root and the third, or just the fifth, for example, of each of the chords as they occur. As you get further through the levels, you'll find the melodic structures level. Now, the word melodic structure is not as easy to understand as just a basic chord tone. So here I want to explain what these levels, as I say, are trying to work on, what their goal is in terms of your playing and your visualization on the fretboard. So there is a concept when people are learning to visualize, hear harmony, and kind of think about harmony on their fretboard, where you will play, as opposed to just chord tones or arpeggios, little melodic cells that are based around chord tones and some of the extensions within the scale. And these give you little melodic fragments that you can apply to a set of chord changes. And they essentially form small bits of vocabulary or phrases, melodic cells that you can use and manipulate over chord changes. Now, in this instance, the melodic cell that we're going to be using, again, is, as with everything in Solo, is based around a series of intervallic functions. In this case, 4 intervallic functions. We're going to be playing the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 5 over every single chord other than minor chords in this case. Now, you can find all of this information for the melodic structures levels if you go into Solo and you select the relevant level. So you can see all of our chord tone levels just here. These are pretty self-explanatory: roots, thirds, fifths, and sevenths, so on and so forth. Then we come down to our melodic structure level. Now, at any point, what you can do is you can either select the level or you can tap the I button just here. And again, you can do that either in the selection menu, or you can tap on a level and then tap the I button just here. And you can see it gives you the different information, or the sum of information for that particular level. So here it says melodic structures root to fifth. So we're not going any higher than the fifth. And we've got the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 5 on major and dominant chords. We've got the 1, the 3, the 4, and the 5 on minor chords. I'll explain why in a second. And we've got the 1, the 2, the 4, and the 5 on sus chords, because we're replacing the third with the 4. And then on our diminished chords, 1, 2, 3, and 5. Now, obviously, they will be mapped by Solo. So on a diminished chord, for example, it would be 1, 2, flat 3, flat 5, for example. So Solo is going to do all the mapping for you. You can also see it says in brackets underneath, no altered fifths on dominant seventh chords, okay, or on dominant chords. So that means we're not going to be dealing with kind of flat fives and sharp fives, just natural fives in this case. Okay, now the reason on the minor chords, minor sevens, minor 7 flat fives, for example, that we're going to be dealing with the 4 instead of the 2. So on major and dominant chords, remember we had 1, 2, 3, 5. On the minor chords, we get 1, 3, 4, 5, is simply because that's a slightly more pleasant sounding melodic structure, because occasionally, so let's say for example, we had chord 3 in a key. Chord 3 requires a flat 2 intervallic function. Now again, don't worry too much about the theory of that. Just trust us that we've decided, on your behalf, of course, that the 1, 3, 4, 5 is going to give you a slightly more pleasant sounding melodic structure to play with, or melodic cell to play over minor 7 chords than 1, 2, 3, 5 in most examples, if not every example. Okay, so that's why we've chosen 1, 3, 4, 5 for minor 7 chords and minor 7 flat 5s, anything with a flat 3 in it basically, other than a diminished chord. Okay, so what solo is going to do when you select Melodic Structures level 1, if you pair it with a chord progression, now I've paired it with giant steps here, because traditionally these melodic cells, like 1, 2, 3, 5, this is something that John Coltrane did a huge amount of, and I believe David has done a video on this already for the Solo YouTube channel, talking about how he practices giant steps using solo. John Coltrane was famous for practicing 1, 2, 3, 5 through the whole progression. So you might have like... I'm playing 1, 2, 3, 5 over that whole sequence. Solo is going to do the work of mapping that all out for you. So when you load up the progression, let's go start changes workouts. You can see here it's giving me the first chord, B major 7, and it's asking me to find the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 5. So I would find, let's say, B here, and then the 2, then the 3, and then the 5. Same thing for D7, 1, 2, 3, 5. Then G major 7, 1, 2, 3, 5. Same thing for B flat, 1, 2, 3, 5. E flat major 7. Now solo, because we've got a minor 7 chord, is asking me to play 1, flat 3, 4, 5. And this just acts as a really fantastic sounding melodic cell or structure that outlines the sound of the chord, okay, because it contains the 3 in there. It's telling us whether it's major or minor, but also gives us this brilliant, fantastic melodic sound that you can utilize in your playing. So what do the other levels give us? Melodic Structures 2 through 5. Essentially, they give us variations on this theme of 1, 2, 3, 5 for major and dominant chords, and of course diminished chords as well, or 1, 3, 4, 5 for minor 7 chords or minor type chords. So if we select Melodic Structure 2 and tap I, you can see here instead of having 1, 2, 3, 5, we've now got 2, 1, 5, 3. And you can have these going forwards or backwards by using the forward or reverse button. And then if we select Melodic Structure 3 and tap I, again, we've got a variation on the theme. So 3, 5, 2, 1. And then for the minor 7 chords, we've got 4, 5, 3, 1. And if we select Melodic Structure 4, which I can do from here now, again, similar kind of thing, 5, 1, 2, 3 in this case. And then the final level, Melodic Structure 5, is going to give us randomized inversions of these things. So all of the previous levels, but now randomized sequences of those. So we might get 1, 2, 3, 5, followed by 5, 1, 2, 3, followed by 3, 5, 1, 2, for example, just randomized throughout the chord progression. This is going to really keep you on your toes. So there we go. They are a really useful set of levels to work through, especially if you've got to the point where you feel like you're really getting to grips with your chord tones and you want a slightly different challenge. These will start to, the Melodic Structures levels will start to give you something a little bit different to work on, and some very cool melodic cells that you can start to apply within your playing. Of course, all the usual things apply. Play these notes in every single order all over the fretboard. Use the limitation exercises that we've talked about within the tutorial section of Solo to help you kind of find them all over the fretboard and visualize the fretboard in the most efficient way. I hope you found that useful, guys. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you did, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons below, and of course the bell notification icon to make sure you never miss any more content from the Solo YouTube channel again. All right, guys, thanks for watching. My name's Tom Quayle, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.